This astrology, the divine science of astrology, was used and is used by priests and kings. It was used in the olden days by kings to get the feel of the heavenlies, to get the feel of what God is saying, and to rule their kingdoms. A good example is Daniel. Daniel is another prophet that is associated with this month of Av for various reasons, the protection of Daniel. Now, Daniel, he was from with this, it was the group of Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, the fiery furnace, and Daniel himself, he interpreted dreams for the king. He had a special insight. He was a Wiseman. And Daniel then, of course, he was very extreme in his faith, very strong with his faith in God and his obedience and his love for God, even so that he did not stop worshiping him, and he was in the lion's den, right? You remember all this. So this shows the extreme, the fiery furnace, the lion's den. He believed in God. Now, King Nebuchadnezzar, he made Daniel the head of the wise men, the diviners, the astrologers, the magicians. These are all bad words for us. But these words were not bad in biblical days. This was the way God communicated with people, and there were certain people that knew how to read the heavens. So Daniel, Belteshazzar, that was the name that Nebuchadnezzar gave him. And he became the head of all the wise men, which included the astrologers. He was the head of it. Now, if this was so against God's ways, would he have accepted that title? I don't think so. You see, this astrology, this divine science, is like money. You can abuse it, you can make it your idol, you can worship it and live only for money, or you can use it for good as a tool, God's tool to live your life. Put it in the right perspective. The same with the stars and the planets. People have made them into idols because they realize that they do say something to you. They say something to you. So then they start worshiping the sun, worshiping the moon, incense and bowing down to it. This is what is not right in God's eyes. And this is what set Abraham apart. Abraham's father was an idol worshiper. And Abraham saw the planets and all this stuff, but he worshiped God. And God saw that he worshiped him and not the stars. And this is why he called him out. It didn't mean to disregard all the things, but let's put it back in the right perspective. The planets, the stars, sun and moon in particular, our luminaries, are God's gift to us, God's instrument. He is the one behind it. He is behind the symbolism. He is the one to be worshipped. There's nothing anything can do without God. So we've got to remember that. And we've got to put it back into its rightful place now. People are searching. People need to know who they are. Another thing about Daniel, an astrologer, he's also the one where it said in Daniel to seal the book up to the last days. And this book now is the radiance. It's called the Zohar. Of course, Yeshua is the radiance of God. But the Zohar is what is also coming out at this time. So Daniel is very instrumental in astrology and all that stuff.